RMBI gene, here to take you on another level and new horizons.
Hey, what's up? My name is Reggie. I do the Simple Straight Talk show. I want to talk to you about the tweet that Drew Brees sent out. He's the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. And as I talk about this tweet that he sent out, I also want to break this tweet down because I want to take a page from Malcolm X and explain to white people how we're feeling. Because Malcolm X made a great point when he said that you can't, I'm going to say sugarcoat around telling them how you feel. And I think, I'm not saying that all white people don't get it, but the vast majority don't get it. So basically what happened was, I'm just upset, Drew Brees was doing an interview, and this is recently now, in the midst of the whole thing that has taken place with George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and he was asking about the upcoming NFL season, basically, if NFL players want to take a knee. Now, here was Drew Brees' response regarding NFL players taking a knee. I'm going to read this to you. Then I want to break this down to you, and I'm going to tell you why this pisses me off. Drew Brees' tweet said, "I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of our country." Brees said in an interview with Yahoo Finance on Wednesday, he added that when he looked at the flag and stood with his hand over his heart during the anthem, he envisioned his grandfathers who fought in World War II. And everything right with our country, and is everything right with our country right now? Brees said, no, it's not. We still have a long way to go. But I think what you do by standing there and showing your respect to the flag with your hand over your heart shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. We can all do better, and that we all are part of the same solution. Let me tell you why this bullshit pissed me the fuck off, okay? Because I'm going to break this damn tweet down for you. Because the ignorance in this tweet pisses me off. The fact that you want to make this whole thing, like Donald Trump's stupid ass, that Colin Kaepernick's kneeling was against the flag. No, he was kneeling for injustice against black people being killed by the police. That was the purpose of his kneeling. He was initially gonna sit. It was a white football player who was prior military who asked him, and they agreed that if he kneeled, he thought it would be better. So he actually consulted one of you who told him that kneeling was still a sign of respect, and it wouldn't be disrespectful. Kneeling, let me educate y'all motherfuckers. I'm getting pissed off again. Understand this, the NFL used to kneel for the national anthem. It was mandatory that they used to kneel. At one point, they didn't even come out for the national anthem. So know your own history before you try to correct us on our history. Next thing is this. He says, when he stood with his hand over his heart during the anthem, he envisioned his grandfathers who fought in World War II. Black people fought in World War II. Our ancestors fought in World War II, in World War I. The only difference is Drew Brees and all the white folks, when your ancestors came back and actually was able to come back to this country, they were welcomed with open arms. They was greeted as heroes. Talk about the Harlem Hellfighters who went and fought in the war, got treated better by France than they did by the very country that sent them there. And truth be told, the reason America sent the Harlem Hellfighters regiment over to France because they said that they did not want to send any white troops, but the black people, you can have them. So get your history straight when you want to start talking about a flag. This American flag was never made for us. The American flag was never meant for black people. Let's get this shit fucking straight. You can sit here and try to be patriotic all you want to. The American flag was never meant for black people. The national anthem was never written for black people. And we all know that. but nobody wants to face the truth. Do I believe in the American flag? The American flag was not made for me. Whether you like it or not, you can sit there and try to play the big advocate for all this. The American flag was never meant for black people. The national anthem was never meant for black people. For those of you who are ignorant and uneducated, look at the third verse of the national anthem. The man who wrote the national anthem didn't even like blacks. The Constitution still today categorizes us as 3/5 of a person. When y'all start talking about what you done for this country, how your great-grandfathers and great-grandmothers fought wars for this country, our African ancestors fought in the same wars. We fought in the same wars. So you have the right to do things. So, Drew Brees, for you to come out with this ignorant statement, to try to take this all the way back to this is about the flag, it has nothing to do with the flag. Nothing at all to do with the flag. It's got to do with black men, unarmed, being purposely killed by the police. That's what all this rioting is for. And see, that ignorant statement that Drew Brees made is the reason the riots, the protesting, the protesting needs to continue. Because what they're trying to do right now is silence black people by saying, look, we're going to prosecute. Look, we arrested them. Y'all go home. No, this whole protest needs to extend beyond what's going on, because we need actual policies. We need federal legislation that's going to help fight against these policemen killing black people. This is not just something that a local or state level is going to get fixed. It needs to be a federal mandate across the board. The only reason some of these police departments are acting right now is because they just want the rioting to stop. That's the only reason they're even acting. And truth be told, the United States of America, or America, however you classify it, has never implemented one civil rights act based on morality. It has all been done based on movement of mass black people, either in protest or rioting, or a combination of the two. That is the only reason they have ever acted to do anything but civil rights. Okay, like I told you, I'm fired up. Now, when I read this tweet that was sent by Drew Brees, okay, and he's talking about how, everything is not right, but it can get better. White America, here's something that you need to realize. It doesn't matter how much money you give to these save the animals or save the earth or environmental things. You know what I'm saying? You can go to all the national feed the hungry programs and do all this type stuff. But when you walk out of your movie feed, and when you walk off of your movie sets, when you walk off of your football fields, your basketball stadiums, when you get out of those race cars, when you get out of any uniform, you are still in the same skin color of white, which means you are privileged. When we step out of whatever we're doing, whether we're working on a football field, on the basketball court. Now, I will say this, the A-list celebrities, they probably get a little taste of white privilege because they're making money. So it might be a little leniency for them. But for the average people like me, the black no-name people like me, the people that y'all really don't even care about, it doesn't matter. I'm an honest person. I work. I don't commit no crimes. I got no criminal record. I'm a hard-working person. But the second I step out into that world where I am visible to society, I am a black man that is a threat and a danger. That's how I'm seen by the police. That is how I'm seen by the white people. That is how I'm seen at the job. We live in two different worlds. So for you to send out tweets and stuff talking about your great grandfathers and great grandmothers did this and did that, ours did the same thing. Colin Kaepernick took a knee. He was wrong for doing that. If you riot, you're wrong for doing that. If you sit and protest quietly, you're wrong. Anytime a black group or a black person decides they want to protest and stand up for their rights, it is absolutely wrong. The American society viewpoint on black people standing up and speaking out and voicing their opinions is to sit down, shut up, and take it all in stride, black people. That's what you're supposed to do, because this country never honored the contract. It was once said that America had a contract with the people within the city, within America. But the black people of America were never given a contract. There was verbal talks, but there was never a contract. The contract was never honored about how we was going to be treated, how we was going to be accepted and integrated into this system. Segregation ended because of riots. It ended because of protests, not because of morality. And it's frustrating to hear people like Drew Brees come out with these stupid tweets to make these stupid comments. And then now he comes back with an apology. Oh, I didn't mean to say what I said. That's not what I wanted to convey. I'm sorry for my wordings. And the only reason Drew Brees came out with that is because probably the New Orleans Saints organization, here's part of his tweet. This was his so-called apology. Okay, let me see if I can get here. This is Drew Brees' fake-ass apology. In speaking with some of you, it breaks my heart to know the pain I have caused, he said. Those words have become divisive and hurtful and have misled people into believing that somehow I am an enemy. This is where I stand, he said. I stand with the black community in the fight against systemic racial injustice and police brutality and support the creation of real policy change that will make a difference. Brees said that Americans, including himself, had not done enough to fight for equality, or to truly understand the struggles and plight of African Americans. I recognize that I should do less talking and more listening, Brees said, and when the black community is talking about their pain, we all need to listen. Why the fuck you didn't say that in your first message? When you said, no, I don't agree with kneeling, but I do think we need to do something against the injustice. I feel like we're not hearing the black. Why didn't you put that in your first one? That's what tell me right there. None of that, what you said in that bullshit apology was even close. You didn't say nothing close to that in that first tweet you said. That tells me it's bullshit. That tells me that you got some little white dude sitting over in the corner, some white dude or some white woman from the team that said, here, tweet this. Drew Brees, that whole bullshit was policy. You revealed your true self. And I'm not going to compete with the person that said it, but the person called it right. Who some of these people portray themselves to be when you are making them money, when you're helping them to look good. And I'm telling you this, black people, how they see you when you are making them money or you are beneficial to them is one thing. How they really feel in their heart when they're behind closed doors or when they can send something out and assume that it can't be broken down because we are unintelligent enough to understand or comprehend the real meaning of what they're saying. Drew Brees just showed his true color with that bullshit tweet that he just sent. He just showed his true colors, and that's how a lot of them feel. Now, I hate this. I don't want to categorize all of them because I know there are some of them that really are that don't believe in injustice. They really do feel like African Americans need to be heard. So, to those of you, my love, I'm gonna put it like this: to those of you who do feel like African Americans need to be heard and something needs to be done, that are white, hey, much respect to you. I appreciate you. But to the rest of y'all,
a vessel for a message, let him revitalize you. It's time to tune in, this here's so fire. Empower your voice to inspire. Yeah,